To XCW Freetime interview. I am your host, Fletch, as always, and today I'm going to be joined by none other than the enforcer, Jayden Tucker. Welcome to Freetime interview.
Thank you.
The very first one. I'm excited to bring it to you here on the winter 2021-2022 season, and we're just going to jump right into. I got some questions for you. You just answer them as honest as possible.
Okay.
All right. First off. You've been in and out of XCW for a few years. You've seen probably hundreds of matches in XCW. Overall, who is your favorite XCW superstar to watch?
I got to go with Corey Lee.
Really?
Yep.
Corey Lee, definitely a seasoned vet, a big time star here in XCW. What is it about Corey Lee that you like to see?
I mean, he's just captivating. I love watching him every time I can get around to sneak where the fans can't see me. I love watching everything he does. The match that really caught my eye was with him and Vex at SummerSlam.
Oh, absolutely, for the XCW Championship. And you've had the opportunity yourself to even work with Corey Lee in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, who's your favorite XCW superstar that you've ever had to work with?
It would have to be DJ Warwick.
Really?
Yes.
Myself and DJ, I think our chemistry in the ring isn't great, but DJ's had chemistry in the ring with many other guys. Like currently, he's in a feud with me on Diaz, and they just put on excellent matches. So, good pick. I understand why you would go that way. I know that you and DJ are probably, or it's probably the person you're the closest to outside of XCW as well. So, overall, I know you've watched plenty of the XCW shows on YouTube. Plus, you've witnessed a lot of them over the last 2 or 3 years. But in your opinion, that you've seen, what is the best XCW show of all time?
Ooh, I'd have to go with the recent one that just came out, Halloween Harvest.
Halloween Harvest, definitely. It's got 4 Match of the Year candidates in that very show. And to be honest with you, the ones that weren't on there should have been. It's just an unreal show. 2020 was probably XW's best season ever, but boy, Halloween Harvest 2021 is a hard one to beat. Now this one's more of a personal question. So, how did you personally get your start in XCW?
Actually, me and Evan, we was talking, and he told me how XCW was just being unfair to him, if I shall say.
Who was this?
This was Evan Phoenix.
Evan Phoenix, okay.
So we sat down and we talked, and he said he was willing to pay me to come in and be the bodyguard to watch his back. And I said, why not? It's more money than what I'm making, so I'll come in and do it. And of course, I've been a fan of wrestling since I was like 5 years old, so.
Now, who did you, other than Evan Phoenix, like how did you, who did you contact first? Like, how did you make your way to your first XCW show all those years ago?
Shockingly, DJ Wilbert.
Really?
Yep.
How did you meet DJ? Did you meet him through through something wrestling related, or?
I met him. Basically, I watched one of the XCW shows, and I contacted him on Instagram. I'm like, hey, what's XCW about? How can I get started? Is it family friendly, stuff like that? Because I've been with other places, and it's just not. It's just not. No.
Huh.
Like, they have been so damn strict on you, where XCW feels more, shall I say, homey.
Yeah.
And everybody is friendly. They support you when you're going through a tough time. They support you.
So flip side to that, like we were just talking about what you thought was the best show in XCW history. What do you think was the worst show in XCW history? Is there one that stands out to you that you were at and you're just like, this is a disaster?
Not that I can recall. Maybe a few years later, maybe we'll be able to answer that.
What was is there any particular show that you watched on YouTube and you're just like, nah, that's a one and done for me. I probably won't ever watch it again. For me, it's probably Emergence 2020. I think the show was awful.
So far I really haven't had a bad one. I've enjoyed everything so far. I mean, being a fan of them being in the ring, I've enjoyed everything I've done and then watched. So
you've had quite a few. You haven't quite won a championship or anything here in XCW yet, right. But you've had some big moments, including knocking off Evan Phoenix at SummerMania. So, in your opinion, to this point, I mean, you've had the match with Evan, you had a ladder match with Blackheart, you've had some big moments.
Yeah.
What, in your opinion, is your biggest moment in XCW?
Starting out would be the first match I got to be the enforcer, but that big moment would be at SummerMania. I mean, it felt huge. I was nervous as everything. But I had some people come up to me and get...
I mean, there's a half a season build-up just in that one match.
Yeah. So it's like, I've had people come up to me at that show and just be like, calm down, you're going to do good. Just keep your cool. I'm like, okay, I can do that.
And I know that you and Blackheart had some barn burner awesome matches to start the season. So definitely some big moments in your career. But talking about big moments, what do you think was the turning point in your career? The point where, you were here and things were going well, but it was a big turning point that literally flipped your career upside down in a positive way.
When I got to beat the piss out of Evan.
SummerMania?
Yeah, SummerMania.
Yeah.
I mean, I kept trying to go and basically be like, hey, Evan's being a complete bitch. And I just want to beat the piss out of him, but luckily, I think he went and basically talked to the higher powers and said, hey, no. If he wants to, keep him back.
Right. And a little bit of behind the scenes, a little bit of extra for you guys that are watching here. Evan Phoenix actually came to me when I said, hey, we're going to put Jayden Tucker with you. He's going to be your bodyguard. Evan was actually, I don't know if you even know this, Evan was the one that came to me with the actual layout of the storyline and how he wanted it to go. And he said from day one he was going to put you over at SummerMania.
I did not know that.
Yes. So, all that time behind the scenes, Evan Phoenix was right alongside myself and the other writers to prepare you for that moment. So, it's pretty cool. Now, a little more on the negative side, but it could be a learning experience. Who knows? What is the worst injury you sustained during your time here in XCW?
It wasn't a super injury, but it's where me and Evan Phoenix, I believe his name is DCT. I believe
DTC?
Yes. He done a crossbody, and we went to catch him. Well, apparently I wasn't able to get my arm out of the way, and I had smashed my arm into the ground, and it just messed up my elbow.
On the flip side of that, what's the worst injury you've ever seen happen in XCW during your time?
It'd be the one where Corey Lee was taking on DJ Warbert, and I believe his knee messed up a little bit, or something happened to it.
Yeah, DJ's had a history of a few injuries. I know he's got a knee that kind of, the kneecap kind of goes in and out of its socket and stuff. definitely one of the injuries that is sidelined him for months. So definitely devastating for DJ in his career, and I'm glad that he's had a much better year this past season. Now we know that they don't know, but I know. There was a time where you were in XCW. You went away from XCW for a little bit, and then early. You come back earlier this year and the last year. So, has there ever been a time that you just actually wanted to quit XCW entirely?
There's been a few, but I've always had family being like, just stay positive, you're going to get through it. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and I believe that very much. So I keep pushing, keep coming back, trying to scratch my way to the top.
So you see that light, huh?
I see it.
All right, good deal. So, let's talk a little bit about gimmicks. You're the enforcer. People know me as the virus. There's all different gimmicks in XCW. But what is the worst gimmick you have witnessed since you began with the company?
Oh, Lord.
And I mean, trust me, there's been some bad ones. Maybe before your time, but there's been some bad ones. And this is just you can go off of what you've seen on YouTube or what what you've experienced in person. Just what is the worst gimmick you think?
I'm not really for sure, really. I'd have to really ponder and think on that.
Well, if I had my pick of the litter, killing Kevin Kramer, KKK, was a very bad idea. And there's been some bad ideas, but overall, I think there's a lot of success stories in XCW. Now, on the flip side of that, who do you think has the best gimmick? What's the best character you've seen played in XCW?
Jesse Justice.
Really?
Yep.
What do you like about Jesse?
He literally will get into that character so much as like, is it a gimmick or is it really him?
Right, yeah. You believe that it's him, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love any gimmick that is that, where it will take the person in the gimmick and smash them into one where you don't know who it is.
Right.
So.
Okay, now this is more for you, more back on the personal side of things. Do you have any pre-match rituals or anything that you do to prepare to get you in the mindset that you need to be in to perform in the ring?
I will usually listen to music. The favorite song I love to listen to is We Lose Control, which is actually my own theme song. I love listening to it. The beat of it is right there, and when I go out, some people don't know it. I think few in the back do. I am actually singing it in my head as I walk out to the ring. So it's like, yeah.
That's the best too. I mean, when you have a theme song to get you hyped up enough to be able to go out and put your body through the things that we put our bodies through, you definitely have to have something to get you amped, something to get you to that point. So, as the XCW Galaxy is seen on XC Wrestling 1 here on YouTube, we have this show called Showtime, and earlier in 2021 Showtime, we honored the XCW Hall of Famers. And you were here for that event when we honored the XCW Hall of Famers. And at the end of that Showtime episode, we seen you get a chop from a few of the XCW legends.
Mm-hmm.
Who, in your opinion, has given you your worst chop of the career?
Easy. Tommy the Man Merriman.
And that one was the one on Showtime.
I took both of them. The first one, I believe, made me bend over because and then the other one actually had set me down in one of the chairs we had at the Halloween, or not Halloween,
Adrenaline?
No, where we honor the legends. I can't think of it right now.
The Hall of Fame?
Yes, that. And it's like, wow. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, it hurt.
Yeah, I've endured a few pretty powerful chops in my career as well. I've taken a few from Tommy as well. Not sure he tops my list, but I don't know if I want to tell him that because I don't want to receive any more chops in my life. Now, Tommy, obviously a mainstay here in XW. He's accomplished so much. He's got an amazing finishing move. But in your opinion, who's got the best finishing move?
Corey Lee, Brady Branson, DJ Wolbert, Fletch, and Tommy.
Definitely a different combination of styles and different combinations of moves. As you know, the meet defeat, the FML. DJ Wolbert's got the Graveyard Condition, which is a reverse style of the Twist of Fate. Very unique. I don't think anyone really out there does what he does. So I could definitely see where you would think that. Now, obviously, DJ took that inspiration from the Hardy Boys, which he's a huge Jeff Hardy fan. In your opinion, who was your biggest pro wrestling influence coming into wrestling?
Ooh. Jeff Hardy.
Really? Same, huh?
Yeah. Dean Ambrose, Randy Orton.
I could see that. I could see a lot of the Ambrose style and how you portray yourself.
I mean, I just love Dean Ambrose's style. I mean, it's a right in your face. Basically, if you're going to come at me, I'm going to come at you.
Right.
And then my other inspiration is Randy Orton and the recently retired Undertaker.
I think Undertaker was an influence on anyone and everyone. I mean, as people probably know, I was Nightmare, and most of my character was based off of The Undertaker. Hello, what am I wearing right now? But Undertaker was an innovator. He was part of many different concepts in wrestling. And XCW even has some concepts of their own that's exclusive to XCW and you can't find anywhere else, including Winds of Chains, the Elimination Chain match, the Side of Madness. What, in your opinion, is your favorite match concept?
Winds of Change.
Really?
Yeah, I loved it. It gets really brutal. I mean, oh my lord. I mean, I wondered at times, like, is rep going to step in, stop it? Because at one point, I think it was a Death by Vex. I think it busted Jesse open. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was a brutal match, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not seen it, go back, XC Wrestling 1 on YouTube. Check it out. Halloween Harvest. It is a hell of a match between Hayden and Jesse Justice. And it has a feel-good moment to end it all. So if you like those feel-good moments, I mean, you like watching The Notebook, you might watch this match. Who knows? With that being said, there's a lot of hard shots within that match. I mean, we've seen a crowbar used, we've seen chairs. Hell, we've even seen a contraption of tiki torches wrapped in barbed wire. I mean, this match had everything. But what is the hardest weapon shot you've ever received?
It was at SummerMania where Evan Phoenix took a chair and just kept smashing it across my back. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, those don't feel the greatest. Wait until you get a kendo stick, kid. Where do you see your XCW career in 6 months from now? And we're kicking off, early part of the 2022 season at that point. Where do you think you see yourself?
Hopefully chasing the hardcore title.
Really? Why hardcore over any other title?
I mean, I love the concept. It's where I'm more free and the ref can't do anything to stop me. If I want to be cool and pissed off the person I can, and the ref can't stop me.
That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Obviously, everybody's goal, I think, is to be XCW champion. What do you think? You think you're going to get there?
Eventually one day, but I want to take it one step at a time. And
Sure.
And ever since I've came here, I've always seen myself going after the hardcore title. That big, hey, look at me, I can beat your ass and get away with it. You can't stop me.
Well, you definitely had a crazy 2021. You're definitely a fast rising star here in XCW. But who, in your opinion, is the fastest rising star in XCW history?
I'd have to go Corey Lee.
I can agree with that. Corey Lee began in XCW in 2009, and by 2010, he was out of the Cruiserweight division, winning King of the Mountain, becoming the international champion. He had a hell of a first year in XCW, definitely. Now, with that being said, Corey Lee has a moniker. He calls himself XCW Salvation. He also calls himself Die Hard Corey Lee. Who do you think has the best moniker, the best name in XCW? And that could be nickname, that could be their actual name. Like we've had some great names over the years, Cynical and Jason Arcane. You know, some very creative, innovative names. But in your opinion, who has the best name in XCW history?
Now or in the past?
Oh, all time, all 20 years.
When I first came to XCW, I believe in 2018 or 19, I met Jason Arcane, and I love his name. It's so different, so wow, out there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Like, and even the way it was spelled was completely different. You don't see someone spell their name the way that we spelled his. Pat on the back to myself on that one. I ain't gonna lie. Now I know you probably don't know the full list. Some people don't. We're working right now to add a Hall of Fame page to our website. But until then, you know, it's hard for a younger generation of guys to really know who were the benchmarks, who were part of the Hall of Fame from years past. But who do you think, well, let's just go with this. On the current roster, who do you think should be in the Hall of Fame that is not yet?
Brady Branson.
Really?
Yep.
And what makes you think, of all people, Brady Branson needs to go on that list? What stands out to you above all?
He can just make you believe in something, whether it's good or just in him to get behind him. It's just, I love his character. It's just that, make you believe in something positive.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I like the fact that Brady can flip the switch. I mean, there's times where, like, even in the Freedom Fighters, they went a little dark, a little evil. He found a way to embrace his character regardless of his status of face or heel within the company. And it's a testament to him, because I think a lot of people kind of veer off of their characters at times and not really put forth too much effort when it comes to, I mean, he has references to the Ten Commandments and all these things that play into his character. He incorporates that in what he's doing, whether it's weapon shots, promos, stuff like that. And I feel like that's one thing that may be lacking in other people's characters. So I can agree with that. Now, obviously, we know the answer to that of the next question, and that is, what theme song that you've come out to makes you the most pumped? But I want you to tell me who's got the best theme song outside of yours. Like, whose theme song do you listen to and it just gets you hyped up?
It would be Corey Lee's.
Really?
Yeah, I like it. It's one of the songs I was going to pick. I was going to run it by Creative, but then I found out Corey Lee uses it. I'm like, damn it. So I'm like, well, can't use that. Got to go to the second.
And that happens a lot often. I don't think people realize how many times I've had someone come to me and present a song, and I also, and what I think is great about yours and even Corey's is it's lesser known bands that a lot of people, you know, don't listen to on the regular, and it's the same with mine. Like, everybody's like, man, who's your song by? Because it's just not a very well-known band. It's not someone that's played on Octane, or it's not someone that you can just flip on the radio. Like, you really have to dig deep to find some of the theme songs that we come out to. And I think it's a great nod to the lesser-known bands, trying to help them, you know, more people listening to those bands. And I think you and I are two good examples of that.
Oh, yeah.
Now, in just a year's time, you've been on Evan's side, you know, beating down, like you did the beat down on Brogan O'Shea last year at Elimination Chained, while he's chained to the ring. Like, you've had a crazy 2020 and 2021, and you've seen both sides of the card, babyface and heel. Which one do you like to play most?
I kind of like being a heel better. It's more easier, less stressful. I mean, the babyface, you got to play by the rules, and if you're coming off of being a heel, it's like, okay, I don't want to be that bad guy. I want to try and embrace the rules, do what's good, and all that. But where if you're a heel, it's just bam, bam, you don't have to care. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, but I think And I'm the same way. I would prefer being a heel over a babyface, but I think the challenge of finding ways to get over as a babyface, the challenge part of it is great. It really showed, like, it's really a testament to the person playing the character. If you could get over as a baby, you could do pretty much anything in wrestling. And so, and that's why you have to applaud guys like Kurt Acid and Brady Branson and you know, some of the other guys who can really get over as baby faces. You know, it's really a testament of what they could do. I mean, look at Chris Jones. He's been both, and he is super over as both. And that's just a testament to his career and his ability in the ring. Now, as it sits right here in front of us, this is the eye that never blinks. Were you ever camera shy?
Yes, I am.
Still today?
Not now. I was
Okay.
when I first showed up. I was like, I really don't want to be in front of the camera. But it's like right, I believe, when I got to come out to my own theme song, I was like, all right, I can do this. No problem. Sweat about it. I can do it.
Me, I don't know. I'm a camera hog. It don't bother me at all. Like, I want the attention on me. I even make the camera people like get up on the ring apron while I'm cutting promos because I want that shit right in my face. So it was never really a thing to me. I'm kind of some kind of a natural entertainer maybe, but yeah, like I know a lot of our guys have said over the years that they're definitely camera shy and. It happens, but as long as you break that shell and, you know, I mean, if you're able to perform in front of that camera, honestly, while I'm in the ring, I kind of shut things out. So
do I. It helps me more to focus on what I got to do. Like, I'll zone out the camera, zone out the fans. It's like, okay, peace of mind, calm down, think what you got to do, and just go for it.
I think you're going to have a more interesting answer to this question than most of the guys in XCW. What wrestling experience did you have before coming to XCW, or you know, even before your first or second time in XCW? Any experience outside of XCW?
I don't know. I mean, it was okay, but like I said, when I come here, it's more like I belong.
Right. Well, can you tell us a little bit about some of the experience that you had outside of XCW?
Well, there's this one time me and a guy, we was facing off. It was a feud over, I believe, the Intercontinental title. Well, he got pissy, and I'm like, okay, fine. You can go over, and it was at our big show, Hellfest.
And what company was this?
It was TWA.
Okay.
Total Wrestling Action.
Okay.
And they're no longer anywhere on YouTube or anything.
You're gonna have to give me those DMs because you know, I'm a footage collector. Just saying. But anyway, continue.
But well, it was set for me to go over at Hellfest. Well, he didn't like it because the story was building where I would become the big guy of the mid card.
Sure.
So he bitched and moaned. I'm like, you know what? Forget it. Just go over, and I don't get satisfied. And then he's like, awesome. I'm like, yeah. You would say that because I'm giving in. So after that, I left within probably a month after that. So I came here to XCW, and it's peaceful. It's more fair giving on opportunities.
How many companies have you worked for?
I have done 2, but it's really nothing really like YouTube or anything like that. It's more of a just get together. Hey, let's have fun. You know what I mean?
I know you're also part of Emergence, I'm sorry. Yeah. Other than Emerge, is there any other pro companies that you were a part of?
I've done security for Emerge and New Era. So I actually wanted to wrestle for Emerge, but nothing ever worked out.
Yeah, I was in and out in and out of New Era wrestling for many years. So I definitely have some chops within that company. With that being said, though, I was trained at New Era Wrestling during my time of XCW, but who were you trained by before you debuted here in XCW?
New Era Wrestling. So, I didn't last long because I had told the guy that I have had a injury outside of XCW. Of course, they didn't know I was going to come here. I didn't at first until Fake just led me here. But my nose has recently been broken, and I used to have nosebleeds. And he's like, well, this ain't for you. I'm like, just give me an opportunity to try.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of independent companies that do that. You know, Brandon Hobbs, I know for a little while wrestled New Era, but he would later come and work at the All Star. And like a couple weeks in, he hurt his knee, which had bothered him for years anyway. And instead of continuing to give him the opportunity, they're just like, oh, you're injury prone, gone. And I just feel like, I think that a lot of, there could be a lot of more success stories, but most independents, and yes, I'm talking to you, you're assholes. What is the best team or stable that you've ever seen in XCW? I know that you really haven't been a part of any teams or anything here in XCW, but in your opinion, I mean, there's been numerous teams, VK2, VK3, Untouchables, EBW, Loyalty, Royalty, Vengeance. There's been so many teams. Starstruck Entertainment. Who, in your opinion, was the best? Who's your favorite?
I got a couple than just one.
Sure, go ahead.
Starstruck Entertainment, Royalty. I love their theme song. Let's see here. Lake Evil would have to be one. Because you got that mix of, sorry DJ, but a gothic person, and then you got that madman, and it just kind of just works together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there was quite a few members of that, and they were all very unique. Vapor, Jesse Justice, DJ Wolver, Brandon Hobbs. I mean, you just put the name Brandon Hobbs and Vapor. No offense to the other two, but you put those two in there, and that's a major team.
And not to cut you off, but what's the one team I believe you would have?
Probably.
Revenge.
Vengeance.
Yes, Vengeance.
Yeah, myself, Tommy, and Venom.
That was a pretty good one. I'm like, I really got behind it because, yes, you're out. It reminded me of the Shield almost. How they just came out and just laid waste to everybody.
Yeah, we destroyed the ring and we laid waste to announcers and referees and anybody that would move. This is a pretty. It might have been a little too short. Maybe it could have went on a little longer.
Oh, it worked for me. I remember being backstage when you guys came out and beat the piss out of the Heart of the Storm. I'm like, no, if I got to pay some, I'm taking my contract and leaving. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So, obviously, over the past couple of years, there's been a pretty good camaraderie in XCW's locker room. Everybody, for the most part, gets along. There's a couple of people that kind of bicker that, they may not care for. But is there anyone in XCW that you have met along your journey that you just personally didn't like? If you say MILF Hunter, it's okay.
It had to be a little bit of MILF Hunter if you always wanted to stay to yourself. But other than that, I can't really take air and nay. I have a good experience with about everybody.
Not even Carnage, huh?
I didn't meet him, so.
Oh, you're lucky.
So.
Or at least the last run. I actually think the world of the guy. I think he's contributed a lot to XCW, but people have opinions of his last run here in XCW. Now, over the years, there's what's compelling to XCW is being able to tell a story. And in your opinion, what's the best storyline in XCW's history?
Oh Lord, the DJ comeback with Fletch.
It was a year in the making. I can agree with that.
I mean, a little behind the scenes, I was like, he ain't never going to come back. I've kept saying, come back, I miss you being here in XCW. He's like, nah, I'm not coming back. And I'm like, you little bastard. And then...
Yeah, we had that planned for a good 5 months.
I believe, I may be wrong, Cold Day, I believe he came back. I'm like, I didn't know it was him. Everybody has speculation like Chris Jones and other people. But what got me is when the song he comes out to by Motionless in White, You're My Motherfucker. I'm like, holy shit, it's DJ, he's back. Finally, beat the piss out of Fletch.
It's a big moment, and it's even up for a nomination for most shocking moment of the year for 2021. So, I I could definitely agree with that. But with that, with storylines, there comes rivalries, and there's been a lot of rivalries. Yourself and Evan, myself and Chris Jones, Brogan O'Shea, Brady Branson. There's so many to list. Who do you think has had the best rivalry in XCW history?
Oh Lord, best rivalry in XCW. You and Chris Jones. I believe it's.
It's a good answer.
I believe last year, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. Yep, last SummerMania. Yep.
Yeah.
SummerMania 15. Yeah. Now you've been a part of XCW in a couple of different locations. What was your favorite location out of the ones that you've competed in, which would be here in Cemetery?
I like Cemetery for one reason. I liked how the stage was. It's like it was basically like this, and I thought that was so cool. But I like being here because there's more things that's acquired to the locker room, and then I love our stage, and then it's more
Intimate.
Yeah, you don't have to.
It's not as open. It's easier to kind of keep track of what you're doing and be able to be in the moment when things happen.
Now, at Cemetery, something I liked about it, like if people can't be out in the heat where the sun's beaming down on them, it was able to go to that tree over there.
But you can piss here. What kind of legacy do you think you're going to leave behind in XCW?
I want to be... One I want to leave would have to be, if you set your mind to it, you can achieve anything. Because a little unknown fact to XCW, I'm also autistic and ADHD, and I want to open that door for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you've definitely proven yourself in the last year. You just got to keep pushing and keep getting better. And I think you take more initiative than most, or maybe all, here in XCW. So, so far, all the experiences have been great, and we're glad to have you. Now, as for XCW as a whole, you've obviously been a part of other companies and stuff like that. What kind of legacy do you think this company, XCW, will leave behind?
Basically, we're all for all. We're for anybody that wants to come, try it. If you feel like you can't make it there, the door's open for you to come here and try. And we're not going to judge you if you have past injuries or for some disability that you have. The door is open for you to try.
How has XCW affected your life personally?
I used to be antisocial, and being here it has helped me out to open up and be able to talk more and kind of get away from being shy. You know what I'm saying?
What things have you gained in your life since joining XCW that you think has come out? Like, what's the best thing that's come out of XCW for you?
Friendship. I have gotten more friends since being here because when you have disabilities, people don't want to be around you. Like, oh my God, it's like a disease. No, it's not that. Here, it's like you're just one of us. So I really like that.
What do you think? And I know you don't have to go by like a storyline of like, hey, you know, I beat Evan Phoenix or something, but personally, you, what do you think is your proudest achievement that you've done in XCW?
Getting to be a part of the company and being able to live my
dream.
dream.
Break out of that shell.
Yeah, being able to be a part of wrestling because, like I said, I've been a fan since I was 5. And I've always wanted to do it. And then I got a hold of XCW and they said, yeah, come on out. So having that first match really helped.
Yeah, this one's a little more kind-hearted. Where did you come up with your name and gimmick? And a lot of people don't know this, but originally you were supposed to come into XCW as Storm. Mm-hmm. And you were going to be the bodyguard of DJ Wolberg. And things didn't pan out, and that didn't work. And then once you came back, well, Deacon Storm was now a part of XCW. So that name was no longer an option. So now the Enforcer Jayden Tucker is born. Can you recall how your name and character was created?
Yeah, me and my friend, we would always wrestle in the backyard. Well, he wasn't doing it anymore, and his name was actually Jayden Tucker. So I contacted him like, hey, I've got this great opportunity. I'm going to go and wrestle. And I talked to him. We talked a little bit. I'm like, hey, would it be okay if I use the name Jayden Tucker?
And I changed the name, like the spelling of the name a little bit, didn't I?
No, it's still the same.
Is it the same?
Yeah, it's still the same. So he's like, yeah, go ahead. I'm like, awesome, thank you. So I sent it to you, and I sent you a bunch of names, I think 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think we went back and forth for a month trying to come up with what was going to fit.
So I finally said, you know what? Last card, Jayden Tucker. I sent it, you're like, yeah, that's awesome. And how the enforcer part started, I wanted to work with Brendan Stickle, but something happened, and then I shot Evan Phoenix to you. And you're like, that might work. So we sat down, we talked, and we got it set.
And, I mean, Evan will probably even admit it too. Like, you were the shot in the arm that Evan needed for his character to really get him over the slump. I mean, beyond Freedom Fighters, I felt like Evan was trying to find his way, and I feel like he found his way as a character in XCW once he was paired with you and really found a way to, I mean, he became XCW champion, and even that didn't really get him over the hump. But once he lost that championship, and we debuted Jayden Tucker right after SummerMania 15, he was off to the races from there. Now, last question is always a fun one. You know, a lot of people say, oh, it's fake, and oh, yeah, there's a trampoline under there, or whatever. What do you say to people who say wrestling is fake?
What I say is basically, come try it. I mean, this is me. Shocker. I used to think, oh, it's fake. They're telling you what to do. No, get in there and try it. Get in there and actually try it. Because one of those punches you take, oh my God, it's going to hurt. Get in there and try it. Because dip your feet in just your big toe.
It's not for the faint of heart. It's not easy. I don't know how many times over the past 20 years that someone's like, oh, I can do this crap, blah, 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 and they come into XCW, you know, big head, thinking that they can do whatever they want, and we bump them around for a day or two, and that's all she wrote. Career over. So I want to thank you for coming on the show today, XCW Freetime interview, and we got plenty more of these to come here for the 2021-2022 winter season. Until next time, thank you for joining us here on Freetime Interview.